This is episode 13. I'm Mark Denny. I love movies and I'm all about the movie going experience. So much so, I created the show, The Weekly Reference, as well as The Movie Reference, just so I had a place to geek out for a little bit. If you found this on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc., I really appreciate you stopping by to check this out. On this week's episode, we have a lot of trailers to cover. They seem to drop. Sometimes they have these weeks where they just drop. Also, James Gunn announces the next DCU project, so let's get into it. So Mark's top five for this week is covering September 1st through September 4th. We got a new trailer for Black Phone 2. This is this Ethan Hawke horror film. Comes out October 17th, 2025. I am genuinely shocked. I've mentioned before, time and time again, that I'm not much of a horror fan. However, this year, I've been anticipating more horror films. I saw Sinners. I saw Final Destination, Bloodlines. And there's a couple more I can't name off the top of my head that are coming out. Oh, Weapons that came out. I want to see it. And there's a few more that are coming out this year that I want to check out. And Black Phone 2, I had no idea. I remember seeing the trailer for the first one. That one came out in 2021. And it looks scary. It had this like the 70s aesthetic to it, the way they filmed it. Very home movie footage esque, and it looked terrifying. It looked it. I didn't see it when I was at the theater. The most recent experience was which was Fantastic Four. I saw a poster of it, and my friend David said you need to see the first Black Phone, and I was like, okay, I'll check it out. Still haven't checked it out yet, but I will. But this trailer looked dope, man. I don't know what it was about it. Obviously it's eerie and it's creepy, and Ethan Hawke is just one of those performers that you can always rely on, and it just looks crazy. The way that I liked how it looked, how it was captured. I also like the supernatural aspects of it. I'm not sure if the first one's like this or not, but to see Ethan Hawke's character, what I don't know his name, but he's there in the kitchen where he has the little girl, and then the guy, the kid from the first one comes in, and he's not really there, but he is spiritually choking out this kid, and it's like, whoa. It was, I don't know, to me, I just like, wow, that looks so well done. It looks exciting. It looks terrifying. I don't know if I'll be able to make it through the movie. But I definitely want to check out the first one even more so because of the trailer for the second one. Next, we got 28 Years Later, the Bone Temple trailer. I didn't see 28 Years Later yet. I got deterred. My sister told me, she was kind of like so about it, and that kind of hindered my thoughts about going to see it. And then there's like some of my favorite critics were kind of lukewarm on it, and I was kind of like, oh man, that's kind of disappointing because I was really looking forward to that film. And now we don't have to look any further than January 16th, 2026 for a follow-up to the film. Ray Fiennes is back. He looks awesome as per usual. It looks interesting. I didn't see the first version of this, right? I didn't see 28 Years Later, so I don't know the context per se of all this, but it's familiar footage that I've seen in trailers for 28 Years Later, right? It's familiar, like I recognize it. It's like, oh, it's kind of crazy how they were able to film these films back to back and keep it moving. Now, this isn't directed by Danny Boyle. It's Nia DaCosta, I believe, and she did the Marvels, which you say what you will about the Marvels. And I think she did Candyman, the remake. But yeah, it looks entertaining too. I mean, I don't know. I'm really scared to watch 28 Years Later now because of the lukewarm response, the response my sister gave it. Like it kind of like, ugh. But I did like this trailer, so it's like, do I just? I'm just gonna bite the bullet, right, and watch the 28 Years Later, and then jump into the Bone Temple. But yeah, and then they dropped a trailer for I Like Me. This is a John Candy documentary film that is directed by Colin Hanks and executive produced by Ryan Reynolds. This one comes out October 10th, 2025. I think it's hitting streaming. It's going straight to Amazon, and it looks so well done. Uh, I really like the vibe of it. I think it it looks wholesome, and it's John Candy. Like you grew up with him. If you were, I was born in '89, so I grew up seeing him in these various roles. I haven't revisited most of those projects, but he's this guy. He's like I guess what Robin Williams was to me, like to the '80s. That's what John Candy, and then Robin Williams was to me in the '90s. And it was just one of these things where the guy he's carrying this burden. He's supposed to be this funny man, and there's deeper stuff going on internally, trying to mask it, trying to hide it, and ultimately succumbing to you know addictions and ultimately passing and too soon, right? Not enough work. Not There's a lot of work to be admired, but there's also one of those like, and what could have been had they been able to make it through. And yeah, so this documentary looks really well done, looks really well made, and I'm excited to check it out. I'm gonna check it. I think it's like the Christopher Reeve documentary that came out, I believe it was last year. I really enjoyed that one. And yeah, I really did. Next, Wake Up Dead Man. Sorry, I lost my notes page. I don't remember where I put it. Oh, here it is. Wake Up Dead Man. This is obviously one of my most anticipated movies of 2025. It just got announced that they're actually going to do a theatrical run for like 2 weeks, starting November 26th. So my birthday is November 30th. Hint, hint. I want to see this movie on the big screen. I miss Glass Onion. I think Glass Onion had a limited release as well. I did get to see the first Knives Out, and I don't think I've ever explained. I don't think I've ever shared on this show that maybe I have. I didn't like Knives Out the first time I saw it, and I saw it in theaters, and then it was upon rewatching it that I was like, "Oh man, I really love this movie. I can't believe I even thought any less of this movie." It's really well done. It's really amazing, and I like Glass Onion too. It doesn't live up to Knives Out. It's like Knives Out's right here, and then Glass Onion's like down here. It was still a really well made film, a movie for the times. I mean, it deals with COVID and things like that. And anyways, but Wake Up Dead Man is like obviously it's a third in the trilogy, and Ryan Johnson's knocking it out of the park with these mystery films. And so yeah, I'm excited to see this. I want to see it in theaters. If you don't want to see it in theaters, which come on, support the movie theater experience, man. I love it. I love going to the movie theaters. It does come out on Netflix on December 12th of this year, and I think it's gonna do well. If enough eyes go and see in theaters, I think Netflix is gonna be extremely happy. Um, but yeah, well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. There's also a really cool poster that they put out that I really enjoyed, and then of course James Gunn. He announced the next DCU project, Man of Tomorrow, with a release date already. December, July 9th, 2027. Less than 2 years away from it, technically almost to the day 2 years after the release of Superman, right? Superman came out this past July, and it already hit digital like a month and a half after, supposedly because of Peacemaker season 2. At the moment, I think they could have got away with keeping it in theaters a little bit longer before putting it out on digital. But I guess they really wanted to show you that the DCU is expanding and that this is a continuation of that and things like that. So, and Peacemaker season 2 so far, strong start. I really love the first season of Peacemaker. I'm enjoying these last 2 episodes that have come out. I think the third one's coming out this week or today. I'm recording this on Thursday. So I can't wait to see that episode. But anyways, we got our sequel. Superman's coming back. We're finally seeing this universe kind of shovel the snow a little bit more. We're starting to see more of the road that we're going to take. I loved Superman. I wanted to go see it again in theaters, and I just hadn't had the opportunity to go see it. The only other opportunity I had to go see it again was when I went to go see Fantastic Four. And honestly, Superman has stayed with me a lot more than Fantastic Four has. So I probably should have chosen to see Superman again, although I did like Fantastic Four. So don't get me wrong with that. It's just Superman's something I keep going back to and thinking about, and I just think it's such a well-made film. I mean, James Gunn, he can't do many. He can't steer me wrong. He's such a prolific screenwriter. He's an amazing director. He understands. He takes these outlandish things and yet still finds meaning in them. And so, I mean, Peacemaker is a great example of that. Like, let's blow this so out of here to the point where it doesn't matter, because it's like you still feel the heart, you still feel what he's going for, and that's the same thing with Superman. Let's push it as far as we can. Let's show you a different side of Superman. The first movie was such a great outing, and I can't wait to get my hands. I ordered the Steelbook because I do collect some physical media. I don't collect everything, but there's just certain. I'm trying to get all my hands on all the Steelbooks, but that's not possible. But at the same time, I'm also trying to be selective in choosing movies that actually mean something to me, and have them on my shelf. And Superman's one of those movies I just feel like, yeah, this movie it's meant to be seen and re-seen, and I love hearing James Gunn talk about this movie. I love hearing the cast talk about it. It was really awesome to see the post, James, how he announced it with that little art. Not, I don't want to say little, that I don't want to belittle it, with that amazing art from Jim Lee, and it looked awesome with Lex in his armored suit. So if that's the tease that we're gonna see Lex in that suit, because we got the prototype in Superman. There's a prototype of that suit, that armor, so one could suspect that would be the next best evolution for the character of Lex. And to have that big fist fight between the two characters will be probably really amazing, and probably really emotional too, considering how Lex was portrayed in Superman. And so I can't wait. And to see Corn Sweat posted a similar image. I think it was a little alt to it. Same with Nicholas Holt. Just to have the cast, participate, and you like to see that, you know what I mean? Or at least I like to see that, I should say, because it's like you're supporting the thing that you're a part of. You are Superman. You are Lex Luthor. You're part of the zeitgeist. You're part of the popular culture. Just support what you're in, what you're a part of. Don't be embarrassed by it. Just embrace it. Take in this moment and just enjoy what you get to be a part of. And like I said, Superman was such a pleasant surprise. Well, I didn't really, actually, I don't know if I could say it's a pleasant surprise. What's pleasant is seeing the positive reactions towards it, because if you rewind back the clock, I was in full support of this from the get-go. So I knew that it was going to be great, because James Gunn is just brilliant when it comes to writing, and we know script is king. It makes sense if you look at the DCU slate coming out. We got Supergirl coming out, Lanterns, Clayface, Batman Part 2, which Batman Part 2 is Elseworlds, in case you didn't know. The Robert Pattinson is Batman films are separate from the DCU, but at any rate, we're starting to see this slate. And what I'm more excited, because I trust James Gunn so much, I'm more excited to see the films that he okays, right? The things that he gives approval for. That's what I'm more excited. Like, I'm excited to see Supergirl a little bit more, because he didn't direct it, he didn't write it. He just read the script, liked the script, gave the green light, and they went into production, obviously with Peter Safran and, of course, David Zaslav, I presume. And so I'm excited to see those outlier movies like Clayface, and how they still manage to fit into the world, still feel like they're part of the DCU, but of course have their own tones and their own aesthetics. Because, I mean, just looking at Superman and Peacemaker alone, both from James Gunn, both written by him, and he directed Superman, and he directed a handful of episodes of season 2 of Peacemaker. But there's a tonal shift between the two things, right? Superman is PG-13, and Peacemaker season 2 is hard R. and so it'll be interesting to see what other directors bring into it, like Lanterns and things like that, based off of just being approved with the script, and seeing how the production's being supported thus far. And yeah, how could you not want a Superman sequel from James Gunn? Like, it feels like it makes sense to have him at least do the second one, and then if he decides, you know what, I'm gonna take on Batman next, or I'm gonna take a step back and let someone else play with Superman, or however whatever the plan is. This is pretty exciting. 2025 is getting there. We're almost done with it. 4 more months, and then it'll be 2026. And I just kind of want to run down some movies that are coming out. Maybe put some on your radar. Maybe I don't know. I'm not gonna go through the whole list, but IMDb has an upcoming list, and I'm just gonna shoot through at least the ones I know, or the ones maybe talked about on here. This weekend we got Conjuring: The Last Rites. I know a lot of people like the Conjuring movies. There's a couple of Twinless, which I talked about on here, comes out that weekend as well. Next weekend is The Long Walk, which actually looks really entertaining. That film, you got Cooper Hoffman and Mark Hamill, and yeah, that looks like a really. They had a little thing recently where if you saw the movie on a treadmill at mile 3, 3 miles an hour, and you were managed to stay on it, you got to finish the movie, and if you got tired or needed to get off, you were removed from the theater and you couldn't finish the watch. That would have been so cool to be a part of. September 19th, you got the movie Him, which is that weird horror sports movie with Marlon Wayans. Then there's a big, bold, beautiful journey with Colin Farrell and Margot Robbie. That looked like a cute movie, if I'm not mistaken. Then there's September 26th, you got One Battle After Another with Leonardo DiCaprio, which I'm kind of looking forward to that movie. I don't really see a lot of buzz for it. When I looked at my favorite theater here, local, they didn't have it playing there, so that's kind of disappointing. That might deter some people. October 3rd, we got that movie, Good Boy, which is like this horror movie in the perspective of the dog. Looks really entertaining. Then there's also The Smashing Machine, which is Dwayne Johnson's attempt at Oscar Gold, probably. I hear really nice things about that film. I'm not a huge Dwayne Johnson fan, but I'm also not a huge, is Smashing Machine about UFC or something like that? So, I don't know. I might check it out. I don't know. October 10th, Tron Ares. I'm looking forward to this movie, mainly because the aesthetic is red and black, and I love those colors. I don't know. And the music. I mean, Nine Inch Nails, all that stuff. It looked really cool. The trailer's been great. And I have a soft spot for Tron Legacy and all that stuff. So I don't know. Also, that day is If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. That's that Rose Byrne movie we talked about a couple weeks ago with Conan O'Brien. Conan is popping up in a lot of movies, it seems like. Toy Story 5, that movie. Not a lot of movies, I guess. October 17th, we talked about Black Phone 2 on this episode. Good Fortune, I talked about on here. That's at Aziz Ansari and Keanu Reeves movie where the angel's trying to help him with his life. After the Hunt, this is that Julia Roberts, Andrew Garfield movie that looks kind of insane. It's like a thriller. Did he or did he not do something horrible to a woman? I don't know. It looks like one of those uncomfortable movies. And then October 24th is the Springsteen movie, Deliver Me From Nowhere with Jeremy Allen White. I love the trailer, so I definitely am looking forward to that movie. Regretting You, shout out to the book lovers out there, that's coming out that day. Blue Moon, another Ethan Hawke movie coming out. That trailer looked really well. It has this certain old school feel to it that I really appreciate it. On October 31st, you got Begonia, which I was going to talk about last week. That trailer looked insane. It's like a conspiracy thing about Jesse Plemons is suspecting Emma Stone of being an alien, and he takes her hostage, and it looks really entertaining. It's probably the only Yargos film I've ever looked forward to. I'm just not a huge fan of his. I didn't like The Favorite. My sister steered me away from the Frankenstein movie with Emma Stone. And yeah, then November 7th, you got Predator Badlands. Can't wait to see that one. I love Prey. Let's see what else we got. I need to watch The Killer of Killers on Hulu, which is like an animated Predator film taking place in different eras. Then on November 14th, like I predicted, Running Man or Predator was going to move off on November 7th, and it looks like the Running Man pushed itself back a week. This is that Glenn Powell movie with Josh Brolin and Edgar Wright directing. It looks really good. It looks really good. Now You See Me, Now You Don't. I don't. Nah, I'm not interested. I like the first Now You See Me. I didn't like the second one, and so I don't really have any interest in the third one. I don't know why. I guess people really like those movies. November 21st, you got Wicked for Good, the sequel that everyone in my household is looking forward to. Not my household, I should say. My sister and my sister-in-law are both looking forward to Wicked for Good really badly. And because I turned around on Wicked, I am looking forward to the sequel as well. And then November 26th, Zootopia 2. Oh, and the Eternity movie comes out that day as well. Eternity, if you don't remember, is that movie with Elizabeth Olsen and Miles Teller where the husband and wife both pass away, but the wife's not ex-husband, but the husband that passed away first was waiting there for her to spend eternity with her, and now she has to choose between the two. That movie looks really well done. And of course, Zootopia 2. I love the first Zootopia, but it seems so far. Maybe because my kids haven't gotten into it yet. I haven't thought about Zootopia since I was a teacher because that's where I was seeing it the most. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the first one. Let's see, December 5th, Friday, Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I don't know who's into that. I didn't watch the first one. I had no interest in it. I know when I was a teacher, the students were so all about the Five Nights at Freddy's, the game and all that stuff. I couldn't go a day without hearing about it, and I had to tell them, please don't talk about it anymore. December 19th, Is This Thing On? I'm looking forward to this movie with Bradley Cooper, Will Arnett. It's so cool. They're friends in real life. They actually have a history dating back. Well, I don't know how far back, but their friendship is pretty awesome. The whole dynamic between Will Arnett, Bradley Cooper, and Jason Bateman, and all that stuff. When you hear them on SmartList and stuff, it's really really nice. But this is a new Bradley Cooper directed film, and it's about a comic who talks about his life on stage and is going through a divorce. Laura Dern is also in it. It looks really well done. And then, of course, that day is Avatar Fire and Ash, which I am an iffy person when it comes to Avatar films. I don't know if I'm going to check it out. Probably not. I didn't see the second one, have no interest in seeing the second one, and I have no interest in seeing the first one ever again. Thanks to my brother for ruining that movie. Also, they just announced this either today or yesterday that The Housemaid is coming out on December 19th instead of Christmas. It was originally supposed to come out on Christmas. This is Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried. This is for the book lovers out there. I know my wife read this book. I know she's going to really want to go see this movie in particular. SpongeBob SquarePants, Search for SquarePants. I mean, come on. Who's not looking forward to that? And then December 25th, you got the Anaconda movie, which I guess Return of the Living Dead as well. Is that right? I haven't heard anything about that one. Anaconda. This is Jack Black and Paul Rudd, Steve Zahn, Danny Nguyen. I don't know what the vibe is that they're going for for this Anaconda. I have zero interest in it because it's about a snake. I hate snakes. They're the worst freaking creatures in the world. And yeah, that's what the year's wrapping up to look like. That's what some of the movies I'm looking forward to, some of the movies I've talked about on here, and just kind of giving you a rundown of what is coming out. Is there anything that I missed? Is there something that you are looking forward to the most out of everything I've named? Or what is it? Just tell me in the comments. I would love to read it. That's it for this week. Please like, comment, subscribe, comment to say hi. Let me know if you're excited for anything I said in Mark's Top 5. And let me know what you're looking forward to for the rest of 2025. Until next week, don't be what they made you.